indispensable within a month, those between states and those caused by non-state actors. We call, therefore, for more flexible positions so that the Security Council can once again become truly representative in its membership and regain effectiveness as it fulfills its mission. We call for the elimination of the veto, which would bestow greater legitimacy on the body and would enable the UN as a universal organization to once again play a leading role in finding solutions to the great challenges facing our world. Madam President, distinguished delegates, I know that the picture I have painted here is not the brightest. Indeed, it is rather somber. But I preferred to speak truthfully, so as to not underestimate the gravity of our current situation. And yet, optimistic as I am, I can't avoid saying this. I look to the future with great hope. As the great writer William Faulkner said, I believe that humanity will not merely endure, it will prevail. With all of our flaws, when we work together, when we place solidarity above division, dialogue above violence, tolerance above hatred, humanity is capable of great things. Building the future is not possible merely by wishing it. Building the future is not possible merely by wishing it. Building the future requires intention, persistence, constancy and discipline. I always say, and I'll repeat it here today, there are no shortcuts to development, just hard work. But words are no longer enough. Our peoples are tired of empty promises, of grandiose declarations that don't lead to bread on the table, safety in their streets, or education for their children. Just like in any relationship where trust has broken down, the key to recovering it is to show results. Democracy must demonstrate that it can deliver, that it can generate prosperity, and it can secure justice, offer hope, be a democracy with a human face and with a social heart, as defended by the great thinkers of my own political movement, such as Ignacio A. Pane, Juan León Mallorquín, and Fulgencio R. Moreno. My party has been demonstrating all of this in office in Paraguay over the last few decades. We have been showing that it is possible to grow economically with justice, with democracy, and with human rights. I'm not saying this arrogantly, but rather with the humility that characterizes Paraguayans. This is a humility born of a history of greatness, but also suffering. Paraguayans know the eternal cycle of rebirth, of suffering, crisis, tragedy. We have had to reinvent ourselves and rise from the ashes. And in that noble process, we have built the Paraguay that today is finally being recognized for what it is, a giant that is re-emerging. While the world is faltering, we are building something different. A model that is working, a model that inspires confidence because it's delivering results. The numbers speak for themselves. We have seen economic growth of 5.9% in the first quarter of this year, while at the same time the regional average barely reached 2%. Our inflation stands controlled at 4.2%, which is below the regional average. We are advancing firmly towards post-pandemic fiscal convergence. Our fiscal deficit has returned to 1.5% in the national budget for next year. Our unemployment levels have fallen to historic lows, 5.6% in the first quarter this year. But growth without social justice is worthless. That's why we are implementing ambitious programs to transform lives. Our Zero Hunger in Schools program feeds more than 1 million children a day in 7,000 schools. Che Rogapora is turning thousands of working families into homeowners. For the first time, the state is offering mortgages with payments equivalent to rent, transforming a monthly expense into family wealth. I stress that 118,000 people emerged from poverty in a single year. Extreme poverty fell to 4.1%, which is the lowest level in our modern history. But openness with sovereignty. Paraguay, dear friends, stands ready to be part of the solution. The sleeping giant of South America has awoken and is re-emerging with strength. We are ready to be a central protagonist in the struggle for humanity's great values, to be a leading actor in the concert of nations. Because we believe in a future where democracy does not merely survive, but flourishes. Because we believe in a future in which development reaches everyone, not just a few. Because we believe in a future where cooperation is based on shared values, not on mere convenience. Because we believe in a future where trust is earned with results, not with rhetoric. Because we believe, indeed, that humanity will not merely endure, but will prevail. That different future is possible. Paraguayans are building it every day. I invite you to build it with us, together, to leave behind a better world for our children and our grandchildren, a world with more democracy, more freedom, more tolerance, more justice, a world in which hope defeats pessimism, in which light overcomes darkness and good triumphs forever and always over evil. Thank you very much.
On behalf of the Assembly, I wish to thank the President of the Republic of Paraguay. The Assembly now will hear an address by His Excellency Alar Karis, President of the Republic of Estonia. I request protocol to escort His Excellency and invite him to address the Assembly.
President, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. United Nations is an idea of a better world. It is an idea that is not an abstract construction nor an empty declaration, but carefully crafted agreement. A grand agreement that is the basis of a current multilateral world order. An agreement designed to protect international peace and foster prosperity. An agreement to ensure a free and dignified life for everybody. An agreement that is based on the understanding that destruction and horrors of war must not be repeated. Unfortunately, the international law-based multilateral system with the UN and its charter at the core that is supposed to keep us all safe is increasingly under strain. Its fundamental principles are violated in numerous conflicts across the world. Brutality prevails. We simply cannot let this go on. We all should be asking, what kind of future do we want? Will it be a world dominated by barbaric use of force and violence, where might is always right? Or do we want a peaceful and prosperous world, where law and order, justice and universally agreed rules and principles prevail? This question is relevant for everyone in this room, despite the distance of our own homes from front lines in Ukraine, Gaza, Sudan, or DRC. Multilateral world order based on international law and the principles of the UN Charter must be maintained and strengthened. What our peoples are expecting from us as world leaders today is to bring back the San Francisco spirit, to preserve peace and to reinforce the principles of the UN Charter. Ladies and gentlemen, Russia's war of aggression against Ukraine constitutes one of the gravest breaches in international law and the UN Charter since its adoption 80 years ago. Despite repeated calls by the General Assembly to stop the aggression and set the course towards peace, Russia continues its savage assault on the Ukrainian state and nation. Russia's war and its war crimes undermining the reputation and credibility both of the Security Council and the entire United Nations. This blatant assault on the principles of Charter is undermining the multilateralism, global peace and security. Regrettably, as we speak, Russia is targeting Ukrainian kindergartens, schools, hospitals, nurseries with missiles, drones, gliding bombs, mines, shells and bullets. The same permanent member has been systematically abducting and deporting Ukrainian children, erasing their identity and forcing them into integration. A human suffering in Ukraine has reached unprecedented levels. Only the Human Rights Monitoring Mission in Ukraine has documented the death of at least 40,000 civilians, including almost 1,000 children, and for about 35,000 civilians injured, including more than 2,000 children. The death toll increases with every year, month, week and day. In total disregard of President Zelensky agreeing to ceasefire in March and the recent peace efforts by the United States, Russia has significantly intensified its campaign of terror with a barrage of drone and missile strikes on civilian targets.